welcome to the Global Classroom on this wonderful World Breathing Day for our special episode, Deep Breath. My name is Jeff Shaw, I'm Headmaster of Scarisbrick Hall School, and I'm coming to you from the wonderful historic Oak Room at Scarisbrick Hall in England. Well, you're most welcome today to join us. Don't forget to click below for the language that you want to choose, and also to go onto our website, theglobalclassroom.com, for further resources. Well, it's an exciting episode today. We are looking at something that we all do day in and day out, in our night time, in our waking, in our sleeping, and that many of us don't do correctly, and that is breathing. And this episode is brought to you in partnership with the World Health Organization and kindly supported by UNICEF and a whole wealth of our wonderful partners as well. And we're going to hear from some great experts, leading experts, from famous people and their stories about breathing. But let's start off by perhaps taking a breath ourselves and a pause and flying over to San Francisco, California to meet with a science journalist and also a best-selling author and a great friend of mine, James Nestor. Over to you, James.
Breathing. You take in a breath, exhale, repeat this 25,000 times a day. What could be more boring, right? That's what I thought until I met these people. They're freedivers. Did you know freedivers can hold their breath for 3, 4, 5, even 6 minutes at a time and plummet to depths of 100 meters and below, all with one single breath? To freedivers, breathing isn't just a passive action. It's not just something they do. It's like a superpower. You don't even need to be a freediver to harness this power in your own breath. Just by changing the way in which you inhale and exhale, you can help reduce anxiety. You can calm yourself down. You can help focus before a test. You can even use breathing to energize your body up before you go out into a field and play sports. You can use your breathing to heat yourself up when you're cold as well. Seems impossible, but it's all true. To learn more about this, let's head over to Holland to talk with someone who's broken 26 world records by harnessing the power of his own breath. Talking about none other than the great Iceman himself, Mr. Wim Hof.
Hi guys, I'm Wim Hof, the Iceman. They call me the Iceman because I did a lot of extreme challenges in the heart of nature into the cold. Climbing Mount Everest. In short, using my breath. Because there's no oxygen over there. But still, I was able to be in control in my shorts in the cold of Mount Everest. Or swimming under the ice with a meter thick layer of ice beyond me, and just me and my companion, the breath. Fully in control. Or running marathons in the desert without drinking. That is the life force. The breath is the life force. You are able to control that. We have shown now in science that we have a control possible by following the breath inside, into the depth where nobody thought it is possible to control all these systems inside, the physiology. But now through these techniques, we are able to control any part in our body and brain, the mind. It's amazing. 26 world records, changing science fundamentally, only because of what? Consciously controlling the breath. It's coming to you. Take on the breath. Okay, let's go into the breathing. Know that these amazing techniques are so simple and so effective and powerful. Follow the protocol. Keep it simple, but do it well. Sit on being relaxed on a sofa or lie even, and then you are there. Tranquil, nice, okay. Then you take it fully in and let go. And fully in and go. Fully in and go. Fully in, let go. Fully in, let go. Fully in, go. In, go. In, go. In, go. In, go. Just keep on going. Your mind is with the breath. And in, go. In, go. In, go. And go. Tingling, lightheadedness, whatever is happening, breathe into it. And fully in. Go. You're charging up your body. Carbon dioxide is blown off. Body becomes alkaline. Fully in. Go. 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 Just a couple more. Here he comes, almost there. Fully in. Let it go. And hold. Hold after the exhalation. Witness. Be no need for breathing. You're doing okay. We're going for a full minute. Fully conscious, not breathing without air in the lungs. Wow. Just witness. Be your powerful self through the breath, controlling deep nervous system, the autonomic nervous system. Amazing, it's happening. The depth of the brain is being activated right now. You are being relaxed, high on your own supply. All good. Amazing how simple, how effective, how powerful. And you are in control. Now you take it fully in. Fully in. Hold. And we do this 15 seconds. Hold it. Hold it on the inhale. Hold it. For a couple of seconds more. And let it go. And now you can repeat it. Repeating is fully in. Letting go again. 30 times. And the last time you let it go, you stop and you do 1 minute or 1/2 minute. No force. And you will see it will go longer and longer and longer. Amazing. Never force. Always do it controlled. On a seat, relaxed, or lying in bed or on the sofa. Astound yourself. The breath has got it all. You are in control. Good luck. Go for it. It's the best. It's you.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here in the global classroom. My name is Jason Mraz, and I wanted to share with you something that I find fascinating about breathing. Let's all first take a deep breath together. Doesn't that feel good? I know this is all about breathing. So you're going to be taking a lot of conscious breaths today. What do I mean by conscious breaths? That means we're going to be aware that we are breathing in and out. We're going to place our attention on the breath as it comes in and as it comes out. Now, we breathe in and out all day long, hundreds of times, without thinking about those breaths that are coming and going. So when we take a moment to think about the breath coming in and going out, then we can only be in the now moment. The now moment, the only moment there really is, the moment that says we are alive, we are here. And in this moment, I am the driver of my body, right? I am the creator of my dreams. Oftentimes, if we start to drift off and wonder about tomorrow's activities or worry about some things from the past, we can send our thoughts to another reality practically, and our breathing is something we don't think about. We're just breathing in and out all day long. Now, how often do we breathe deeply when we're concerned with other thoughts? Maybe we don't breathe deeply enough because we're worried about something and we're just breathing in and out without consciousness. So here's an exercise I'd like to try with you. Let's all take another deep breath together tomorrow. Okay, not easy to do. All right, let's take a deep breath together yesterday. Here we go. It's impossible. Am I right? We can only breathe right now. So why is this important? To breathing consciously, breathing here and right now. Well, because if we try to spend time in tomorrow, if we try to spend too much time worried about something that could possibly happen or may never happen, or if we spend time thinking about the past, regrets of the past, I wish I had done this, I wish I had done that, it takes us out of the powerful preciousness of the living now moment. In the now moment is when we write, we play music, when we're doing sports, we are living fully inside of our bodies, and we have control of our moods, we have control of our attitudes, we have control of our reactions. Whereas if we're worried about tomorrow or we're reflecting on something of the past, then we lose the ability to live in the moment and have healthy responses to whatever's going on. So when you're worried about something tomorrow or when you're regretting on something in the past, I invite you to take a big, deep breath and come back to right here, right now, really fast. It's just that easy. Let's all take another deep breath together right now. That feels good.
Hi, I'm Hanley Prinsloo, a national record-holding freediver from Cape Town in South Africa. About 20 years ago, I discovered freediving, and I became really fascinated with just how deep I could dive. I learned early on that freediving is not about how you hold your breath, it's about how you breathe. Every breath you take and how the quality of that breath affects your deep dive. I discovered breathing in slowly, deep into my belly, breathing out even slower. How breathing in slowly into my belly and out even slower starts to slow down my heart rate. And if you know how to control your heart rate, then you're starting to control your oxygen consumption. In freediving, everything is about oxygen consumption. The more oxygen you have, the deeper you can dive. Becoming a breathing expert taught me how to dive deep and how to hold my breath long enough to get down to 65 meters underwater, hold my breath for over 6 minutes, and to explore the ocean on one single breath of air. To swim with giant sperm whales on one breath, clicking and talking around you. Big tiger sharks circling around while you're sitting on the sand in the absolute stillness. Swimming underneath a giant manta ray, blocking out the sunlight. All made possible by how you breathe. Breathing is easy. Start focusing on how you breathe in and out every day. It's your superpower. Enjoy the Global Classroom's World Breathing Day.
Thank you, Hanley. Love that whole natural swimming pool thing you've got going on. I need to get one of those myself. So while I'm working on that, right now at this very moment, we have a question coming in from the Himalayas. Hello in Nepal, and welcome to the Global Classroom.
My name is Ghim Medhi. I live in Lalitpur, Nepal. I get nervous before tests in school. Is there a good way to help me focus and concentrate?
Well, what a great question. And as a headmaster myself, working with children day in, day out, I totally understand that we can sometimes get a bit nervous and worried. Perhaps you have an exam or an important day coming up. And yeah, I really do think that breathing can help. I'd love to fill you in more about this, but we do have someone who's perhaps a bit more versed and famous in the art of breathing, and he's streaming in right now from India. And India is the birthplace of the ancient practice of yoga. Now, at its core, yoga is a technology of breathing. So let's head over to Nadia in India for a checkup with the one and the only Dr. Smith.
Hey, sup guys, Dr. Smith here. I am a 24-year-old doc who runs the Dr. Smith Show YouTube channel. Today I have a secret for you, a breathing secret. About 5 years ago, while I was still in my first year of medicine, I started experiencing catastrophic mental and physical suffering, which was rooted in a medical condition in which the acid of my stomach was refluxing back into my food pipe. I was barely 19 back then, and the subsequent 3-4 years were one of the darkest and most devastating phase of my life. Apparently, I suffered more from the second order consequences, which is anxiety-induced sleep onset disorder. So I started self-exploring, seeking for a cure, and I bumped into Sir Dr. Andrew Will's magical 478 breathing technique, and it has proven to be a bonker for me. I have used it against all of my life stressors. For example, during my med school written exams, med school practicals and interviews, before reacting when someone said something that pushed my button, convincing my parents that I am quitting the conventional medical career path, and also quite frankly before filming this. So essentially 478 is nothing but inhale with the count of 4, hold with the count of 7 and exhale with the count of 8. It comes from yoga and I take immense pride on its origin, which is my motherland India. So basically you have to do it ideally in a sitting position, and you have to place your tongue in a yogic breathing posture, which is placing the tip of the tongue against the ridge, tissue ridge, which is behind your upper frontal teeth, like this. You have to start with a complete exhale through your mouth, making a whooshing sound like. Then you have to quietly inhale through your nose with the count of 4. After that, you have to hold with the count of 7. And finally, you have to exhale through your mouth with the count of 8. A single breathing cycle somewhat looks like this. You have to do this for 4 breathing cycles, at least twice a day. I basically start and end my day with this. If you do this consistently, regularly and religiously, then within 2 to 3 months, you will notice significant changes in your body physiology, like decrease in your heart rate, decrease in your blood pressure, improved circulation, improved digestion, a terrific anti-anxiety effect, and a great way to fall asleep. It is basically quick, simple, super easy and highly time cost effective, and I find absolutely no reason not to do it. Again friends, it is the ratio 4, 7, 8, which counts and not the speed with which you do it. Let's do this for 4 breathing cycle. I will keep count for you. Just follow me. Now sit up straight and keep the tongue as described before. Now exhale through your mouth completely. Round 1, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Round 2 in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Round 3 in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last round in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Now breathe normally. Again friends, I wish you all the very best for your brightest future. Catch you around. Peace.
Assalamu alaikum and good day everyone. This is Faiz Fawad from Nasser School, Karachi, Pakistan, and I was just wondering that if there is any breathing technique that we can use when we are frustrated or anxious. Thank you.
What a great question. You know, there are so many stresses in life right now. We've got a global pandemic, and you've got the stress of school, you've got social pressures and more. Sometimes it all feels like too much. Can breathing help? Of course it can. And to tell you about it, we're going to head over to my good friend, Dr. Arya, who's going to tell you how to use breathing to calm your body down, calm your nervous system, calm your mind, to feel a little bit better. Dr. Les, thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Global Classroom.
Hello everyone, I'm Arya. I'm a pain psychologist from Sacramento, California, in the United States. I'd like to share how having a daily practice of breathing has really helped me, especially when I'm feeling very frustrated or anxious or just overwhelmed. The breathing technique I use to help me get back in control and feel calmer is called the box breathing technique. Before we get started with the box breathing technique, let me simply explain how breathing helps both the mind and the body. See, when we're stressed, the thinking parts of our brain goes offline, and the parts of the brain that control our survival dominates and controls all our decisions and behaviors. When we are stressed and do not use a breathing technique, well, we may say and do some unhelpful things to the very people we love and care about, and that includes ourselves. So think of your breathing practice as sending some love and hugs to both your mind and body, and that will help you feel calmer and focused. So let's give the box breathing technique a go, shall we? So here are some instructions. We'll practice the box breathing technique for 1 minute. You'll breathe in through your nose and out through your softly pursed lips, as if you're breathing out through a tiny straw. You'll breathe in for a count of 4, hold your breath for a count of 4, breathe out for a count of 4, and then you'll hold your breath again for a count of 4. So let me show you how it goes. You'll breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. We'll just keep going like that as if it's a box, and we'll do that for 1 minute. In, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. There you have it. Hope you enjoyed this practice. I know I sure did. Remember, think of your breathing practice as sending some love and hugs to your mind and body. So keep practicing and have fun with the Global Classroom's World Breathing Day.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Sterling, and I would love to tell you guys an experience I had when I used breathing to help me calm down in what I felt like was a very scary situation. So this was about 1.5 years ago, and I was driving on my way to a music video set. It just so happened that it was in the middle of the woods, and so it's late at night. I'm searching for the location, and mind you, I'm also in full costume. Like, I'm dressed as like a forest woodland creature, and it's so dark, and I started to get scared because I couldn't find the set, and I was getting more and more lost as I went deeper and deeper into the woods. And I started to panic, and then that escalated quickly and turned into a panic attack where I just was not thinking rationally. And finally, one of my phone calls went through to one of my assistants, and she talked me through a breathing exercise because I was hysterically crying, and she just got me to calm down only by helping me breathe. She had me count, breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 7, and then out for 7. And because my breath was getting shorter and shorter and shorter as I was panicking, and I felt like I was just completely losing control of my emotions until she helped me to start to breathe. And I don't even know why it works so well, but I think it's because for me, it takes me out of that emotional, panicked part of my brain, and it took me into the logical part of my brain because I was focusing on counting, and I was focusing on something physical rather than something that was intangible. And suddenly, I realized that I was calmer. I could think. I could process. I realized I actually wasn't in danger. And I was able to then find my way to the set. And honestly, without breathing, I think that could have been a really different situation. And I got to set, they fixed my makeup, and we filmed Between Twilight, which ended up being a beautiful music video. I would love to tell you another experience of when I used breathing to help me go through a really difficult process. I think the most dramatic time I've ever used breathing was last year when I started to learn how to do the art of hair hanging. Now, yes, I know that sounds crazy, but it is exactly what it sounds like. It's where you learn to you put your hair in this bun and the series of braids that gets wrapped around a little ring. And then, you get lifted up, and it's an aerial art where you get lifted solely by your hair. I thought it'd be amazing to play the violin while swinging around by my hair. In theory, it was a great idea, but once I started to learn it, I remember the first time that I got my hair all done, and I started to put just a little bit of pressure on the ring and my hair. My eyes got so wide because I was shocked at how painful it was. I mean, of course, I knew it would be painful, but I didn't know it would be excruciatingly painful. And I remember thinking, this is impossible. But I turned to breathing to help me get through it. And honestly, it was the hardest physical thing I've ever done in my entire life. But every time when I'd have that thought of this is impossible, it hurts too bad, my body would start to shake, and I was literally putting my body through trauma every time. But I would start to breathe. And it would relax, and suddenly I felt these tense muscles all the way from my scalp to my toes and my shoulders. I felt them start to just relax because I was breathing. And I was letting them know through my breath that this was going to be okay. And by counting the breaths, again, it took me out of the emotional part of my brain that was feeling, and it took me to the more logical side of my brain. And I could tell myself, this isn't impossible. You've done it before, so you can do it again. You know, I think our bodies are such incredible tools. Our minds are such incredible tools. And I think that sometimes we have no idea what we can do with those tools. We limit ourselves so much. And by learning simple techniques such as breathing, it kind of helps us find access to these parts of ourselves that I don't think we ever knew we had. Parts of ourselves that unlock this hidden potential so that we can do these amazing things. Like, I never thought I could have ever possibly hung by my hair or done many of the things that I've done in my life. And only by, small and simple things, it's amazing what huge things we can accomplish.
Lindsay Sterling, thank you for sharing that with us. Some great stories there and some great advice as well. I can't imagine being hung up by my hair and swinging around and playing an instrument as well. Or it might be my problem, might be not enough hair to do that. Or even though despite in lockdown it has grown a bit longer as well. But Lindsay, as always, wonderful to speak to you and to have you here in the Global Classroom. Thank you very much. Now, you may or may not be aware, but actually James and I are extremely key musicians. And my particular instrument is actually percussion. And I love playing instruments generally, but especially percussion. But playing an instrument is a physically demanding thing. And we can actually learn a great deal from how performers and professional musicians see breathing and use breathing in their skills as well. Now, the original plan would have been, of course, that James and I would stand here and do a demonstration for you and perform for you. But the good news is we've got some fantastic guests instead. So please welcome the incredible Dame Evelyn Glenny and Victor Mendoza to the Global Classroom.
Hello everyone, my name is Evelyn Glenny and I'm delighted to be here with you all today in the Global Classroom. Now I wonder, have you ever listened to your breathing? And I don't mean the sound of your breathing, but how your breathing opens up the sound of you. Now when I observe my own breathing, a large part of my body expands and contracts. When I breathe in a shallow way, not much of my body actually moves, and it's as though I'm playing like this. So everything is quite tight. I'm sort of hunched over. My sound is nothing special, and the message that I'm trying to give is not so significant. However, when I take control of my breathing and I let my body sing, suddenly I can get so much more from myself. So you can feel, you can hear, and you can see the difference. So everything is really, really resonating, and it speaks so much more effectively. And all of the contrasts, the sound colours are much, much more profound. Now, I compare my breathing to musical dynamics. So, for example, fat and present, or thin and distant. However, I can still play softly and distantly whilst breathing really fully. So the posture is still balanced and I'm still in control and imagining this instrument as an extension of my limbs. And the whole of my body becomes involved in producing the sound. So even at this dynamic level, I can feel the weight of my body going through this drum. So in a way, my breathing is like a conductor of an orchestra. My breathing controls what the rest of my body actually does. So some food for thought. It's been wonderful sharing with you all today in the global classroom how breathing can affect our physical and mental well-being, and how we can more easily build more effective bridges of communication with each other and, of course, the things we do. So please do enjoy exploring your own breathing and let the sound of you sing.
Hi everyone, I am Victor Mendoza. I was born in Mexico many years ago. I am a musician, a composer, I'm a teacher, and a performer. And I just wanted to say and share with you a little bit about how breathing is such an important part of my life, because it's my livelihood, obviously. And I don't mean to be redundant. I mean, it's obviously it's what I do. My performance requires for me to control my breathing. It requires for me to be healthy, and to be very aware of every part of my body, as you might have seen on the video. And the thing is that it does so many things for me. For one, obviously, I need oxygen in my body to be able to perform at a higher level, but also it allows me to relax. So if I feel any kind of stress or anything like that right before I play, because my audiences can be in a jazz club with 200 people, or it can be in a concert hall with 2,000 people. And when I was in Taiwan, it was 100,000 people. And so for me, I want to be able to control my surroundings. That includes obviously me. So breathing to me is just obviously very, very important. I hope that you practice the art of breathing, and that you practice that all the time. You know, it's really strong, and it will be very, very good for you. See you around. See you in a breath.
My name is Jessie and I live in Mcgee in the UK. I was wondering if breathing through the mouth is the same as breathing through the nose, and what is the difference?
Now that is a great question, and a very, very important one too, about how we hold our jaw and what we do. So let's get across to Australia to hear from a real expert on this, Sharon Moore. Sharon, welcome to the Global Classroom.
Hi everyone, I'm Sharon Moore, and I'd really like to tell you about oral or mouth postures. You've probably heard about body posture, standing up straight, right? Well, keeping our body straight is a great start for perfect breathing, and super important for healthy body and brain. But oral postures using the muscles in the mouth, face and the throat are really help too. Now, when they use the right way, they also help the bones in the face and jaws grow. Yes, the things our muscles do every day. Most people don't even notice mouth breathing or where their tongue is or their posture. Many think it's normal to mouth breathe or have their lips open. And I see kids every day in my clinic with floppy muscles that don't help their breathing. We know the pressure of muscles against bone helps to grow the bones. So floppy muscles don't help. And having our tongue resting up on the roof of the mouth with our lips together, upright body posture, helps to grow the upper jaw and the floor of the nose. The way we chew and swallow also helps the bones to grow. Simply, the way we breathe, chew, swallow, and rest the muscles shape our face and jaw bones that go on to shape the adult face and jaws. Super important for breathing. To be the boss of your mouth muscles, step 1, before you start, make sure your nose is clear. Step 2, train where the muscles sit and rest. That means body upright and relaxed. That's your wow posture, because when mums and dads and teachers see kids up straight and tall, they think, wow. Secondly, rest your tongue up on the roof of the mouth. You can start with your tongue tip on the spot, a couple of millimeters on the gum behind your top front teeth, not touching the teeth. Put something up there for your tongue to hold. That's a sultana. That can help your tongue stay up there. We aim for the whole tongue to rest on the roof of the mouth like a hand in the glove. Lips, they need to rest gently together. And if you say, or put a popsicle stick there to hold them gently in place, that will help to train them to stay together. Step 4, during chewing, keep your lips closed the whole time and choose crunchy, chewy foods rather than soft. Chew your food till it's mushy like soup, and follow up with your tongue up swallow. Now, in summary, to be the boss of your oral postures and to help your breathing, body up straight, tongue on the roof of the mouth, lips together. Keep that tongue up during your swallowing, lips together for breathing and chewing, and don't forget during sleep. Now, I've given you lots to think about. Why not talk to your friends to see if you can help each other with this? And if some of it's tricky, you might need expert help. But in the meantime, you are young, you are amazing. You're the most amazing people on the planet. So breathe well to be healthy and happy, and have fun becoming boss of your breathing. Take care.
What's up, guys? My name's Will John. I'm a professional soccer player, a footballer from Kansas City in the USA, and today I'm going to show you why learning how to breathe properly can improve your game and your life. So let's go. So just like most of you guys, I did not pay much attention to my breath growing up. And then I came across some information on some ancient breathing techniques and stuff like that. And I thought, why not give that a try? So I found some guys like Wim Hof and James Nestor, and then I came up with my own breathing routine and techniques myself. So we should probably start by letting you guys know the benefits of a practice like this. And I have found that it relaxes me, it balances me, it allows me to concentrate more, and it allows me to recover in ways that are just not possible without it. It's my superhuman hack, which you can do in the morning, before bed, after a training, whenever you really want to. All right, so since we only have a minute or so, what we're going to do is show you the first portion of my daily breath routine, which is alternate nose breathing. Now, there's a million ways you can hold your hands and fingers, and don't let that bother you by how complicated it is. If you want to do it like me, just take these fingers right here, put that down, and we start by closing our right nostril, inhaling on the left, closing, exhaling on the other side, and then inhaling. Then we close and exhale on the other side. And we just want to repeat that over and over again. As time goes on, you'll be able to increase the amount of time that you do it. But for now, you can start by doing this for simply 1 minute. If there's one thing that I wish I would have learned as a young footballer, it would have been a breathwork practice. It's completely free. It takes only a few minutes a day, and it has the potential to change your health and your life. So take the time to breathe, my friends. All right, guys, let's go breathe. All right, guys, so now that we're set up, let's go ahead and get in our position, and let's do this action for 1 whole minute. Close your right nostril and inhale with your left. Close the left, exhale. Inhale. Close, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. close your eyes here if you haven't. Inhale. Exhale. On your own rhythm now for about 30 seconds. Last one, last round, I should say. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale one more time. And exhale. That's it, guys. 1 minute. Alternate nose breathing. You can do it anywhere. You can do it before bed, when you wake up in the morning, after training, before training. It's simple, it's easy. Just breathe.
Hi everyone. Thanks so much for having me. My name is Bailey Ritter, and I'm a National Geographic Young Explorer and the Youth Advisor for the Ocean Project. I work to bring young people like yourselves together to make a difference for our ocean, encouraging collaboration between the movements, helping you all along your change-making journeys, and encouraging action on the issues. You may be wondering, what does the ocean have to do with World Breathing Day? Well, did you know that the ocean provides over half of the air that we breathe every day? You may have heard of this thing called oxygen. It's an important gas in the air that our bodies need to survive. Well, all that oxygen has to come from somewhere. Little organisms throughout the ocean, like phytoplankton, help turn carbon dioxide, water, and energy from the sun into oxygen. The ocean is truly working for us every single day. We're also learning a lot today from other guests about how breathing helps calm us down and improves our well-being. Being around nature and places like the ocean can really make a difference for our mental health as well. I know that I'm super fortunate to live about 20 miles from Lake Michigan, one of the most beautiful places on this earth, in my opinion. While sitting on the beach this past weekend, reflecting on my own personal change-making journey, I was reminded of how beautifully interconnected we all are. You and me are connected via the water on this planet. I mean, me sitting on Lake Michigan, I was connected to all of you via the Atlantic Ocean and the St. Lawrence Seaway. And I think that's a beautiful lesson in how we're not just members of our local community, but our global communities as well. And we have each other alongside us, fighting for a healthy and sustainable future. In this global classroom, we're celebrating World Breathing Day. But another important day is coming up very soon. Any guesses? It's Earth Day on April 22nd. But this Earth Day this year is about our ocean. And I hope you'll join me in taking a deep breath on April 22nd and thanking our ocean for helping us enjoy the day.
ខ្ញុំសូមជម្រាបសួរនាងខ្ញុំឈ្មោះសៀវយ៉ាន់នាងខ្ញុំរៀនថ្នាក់ទី3កនៃសាលាឧបត្ថម្ភសិក្សាឧសភីខ្ញុំរស់នៅភូមិឧសភីឃុំលបាំង1ស្រុកលំផាត់ខេត្តរតនគិរីនៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជានាងខ្ញុំមានសំណួរសួរទៅកាន់លោកពូអ្នកមីងនៅពេលរៀនហត់ខ្លាំងតើខ្ញុំត្រូវធ្វើយ៉ាងម៉េចខ្លះ ដើម្បីបានលេងសប្បាយនិងបានសម្រាកពីការសិក្សាសូមអរគុណ
That's a really good question. I'm sure we can get to that in a second. But before we do, let's perhaps pause and see if we can remember the techniques that we've learned so far in today's classroom. Let's think back to the start. Can you remember the first one, the Iceman, Wim Hof, and what he explained to you was a good way to breathe and to activate the immune system as well? He talked about inhale and exhale and then holding the breath, releasing the breath at the right kind of time. And of course, you can go back on this clip and review that if you wish to. Our second technique that came to us was a bit different. That was all the way from India from Dr. Smith. And he gave you a set of numbers to work from about breathing. And that would really help us to slow down our breath and to work with that. And if you recall, the numbers were, first of all, inhale to 4, then it was hold for 7, then exhale to 8. And carrying on that pattern, repeating that pattern as guided by Dr. Smith would really help us in our daily lives. We then had Dr. Les come on, and he talked to us about the box breathing method as well, and the counts behind that, and following that pattern round carefully to help you in your situations, in your daily life, and what you're doing. So let's move on now to our next guest and our final breathing pattern as well. I think something we can use all the time, and I think we have the perfect guest for that. And to make a stop for our final guest right now, going to a great friend of ours, which is Chuck. And he's got an incredible story to talk to you about as well, and an even better breathing technique that will help us in our daily lives as well. Chuck, it's over to you.
Hi everybody, my name is Chuck Mcgee III, and I'm here to tell you today about how the simple act of conscious breathwork can deeply and profoundly affect your life. When I was a kid, I was abused, and unfortunately this led me to be angry for a really long time. I looked for answers in all sorts of places, and nothing ever felt just right for me. Along the way, I was diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic. This didn't help my health, and it sure as heck didn't help my anger. Thankfully, someone told me about conscious breathwork, about taking control of my breath and how it could help impact my health and emotions. No one had ever told me this before. So I'm here today to tell you that by controlling your breath, you can greatly, deeply, and profoundly affect your health and emotions. Within 3 months of me starting to practice conscious breathwork, I was able to reduce my blood pressure. I wasn't angry all the time. I was finally able to let that go and actually enjoy the world and what life had to offer. Breathwork doesn't have to be just for stress or just for anxiety. It can help you perform better in sports. It can help you focus. It can help you relax after a long day. And to that end, I would like to show you one of my favorite breathing exercises. If you're really stressed out and you need a moment just to relax and center, I would try this. So all together, we're going to practice this. We're going to breathe in for 4 seconds, out for 6 seconds, just using our nose. So all together, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. Let your breath return to normal. And really appreciate how you helped make yourself feel right now. And this isn't a superpower, this is your power, and it's always just a breath away.
Well, that's it, everybody. We're out of time, but thankfully, we're not out of breath. I'd like to end with something that I learned from a Buddhist monk years and years ago. He taught me a new way of thinking about my own breathing. He said that every exhale we take represents what has already happened in life, what was behind us, what's in the past. Every inhale, that's what's in front of us, what we will become, what awaits us in the future. From this day forward, you can carry your own breath around with you. Use it whenever you need to calm yourself down or to comfort yourself. This is really your superpower. Thank you very much for joining me on this journey around the world. And now a final word from the headmaster of the global classroom, Mr. Jeff Shaw.
James, thank you so much for that. It's been a wonderful episode here on our deep breath in the global classroom. And we do hope that it's actually just the start of a journey for you where you will learn something and take it beyond here. If you do need more resources, do go to our website, theglobalclassroom.com, where this entire episode plus more details are available to stream for yourself on the YouTube channel as well. Now, I must say a huge thank you to all our wonderful guests around the world and to you for taking part today in what is the largest classroom in the world. We do hope you've enjoyed it, and we do hope you'll join us again soon in the Global Classroom. Goodbye.
All right. Well, you done me in your bed, I felt it. I tried to be chill, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. Before that cool done run out, I'll be giving it my best. Is there nothing gonna stop me but divine intervention? I reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn some. Well, I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. I love singing. I love singing. I love singing. Why do I love singing? I think I love singing so much. Yes, because words are fun and melodies are beautiful. But I think what's really behind the scenes of singing is an opportunity to breathe consciously. I can't sing a song tomorrow. I can't sing the song yesterday. I can only sing the song right now, right here. So I can't breathe tomorrow or breathe yesterday. I can only breathe right now, right here. So while I'm singing the song, because I'm focused on the lyrics and the chords and making sure I catch that breath and control the exhale so I can sing a long phrase. And I have to know when to inhale to steal that breath so I can sing another long phrase. I have to be conscious to sing a song. So breathing consciously is the result of singing a song. And I truly believe that's why we love music so much. When we align ourselves with a song, we bring ourselves to the present moment. And in the present moment, we're here. We can't worry about tomorrow or yesterday. If I'm on stage or if I'm backstage and I'm getting ready to go out there and I get nervous, what do you think I do? I take a deep breath. Because I'm nervous because I'm worried about the future. I'm nervous because I'm excited about this gig. I'm excited about going on stage and performing in front of an audience. And my nervous system is starting to freak out because it's trying to project itself into the future where there's an audience and a stage, but that hasn't happened yet. So when I take a deep breath, I come back to the present moment. I'm still backstage, and my nervous system goes, oh yeah, we're not out there yet. We're right here. And when we do get out there, we're going to be okay. So I like to take deep breaths to control my nervous system, control my mood, cool myself down, get myself ready, be in the moment, and be so grateful that I get to sing songs. And those very songs keep me living in the moment. Well, do 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 all right. Don't forget to visit theglobalclassroom.com for more resources. And remember to take a big, deep breath anytime you need assistance from yourself.